2.3, Apply Deductive Reasoning. So for deductive reasoning, it involves using facts, definitions, and accepted properties and the laws of logic to form a logical argument. Versus inductive reasoning, which we learned in 2.1, it uses some specific examples, patterns, to form a conjecture. Now let's look at the laws of logic. The law of detachment. If the hypothesis of a true conditional statement is true, then the conclusion is also true. For law of syllogism, if hypothesis P, then conclusion Q. If conclusion Q, then conclusion R. Therefore, if hypothesis P, then conclusion R. So it's like saying from A to B, then B to C, then A to C. Let's look at example 1. Use the law of detachment to make a valid conclusion in the true situation. If two angles have the same measure, then they are congruent. And you know that measure angle A is equal to measure angle B. Then we can say angle A is congruent to angle B. Please pay attention to how I am reading these sentences. Jess goes to the gym every weekday. Today is Monday. My conclusion will be Jess will go to the gym. Example 2. If possible, use the law of syllogism to write the conditional statement that follows from the pair of true statements. If Ron eats lunch today, then he will eat a sandwich. If Ron eats a sandwich, then he will drink a glass of milk. So we can conclude that if Ron eats lunch today, he will drink a glass of milk. So let's look at a mathematical one. If x squared is greater than 36, then x squared is greater than 30. If x is greater than 6, then x squared is greater than 36. Therefore, we can say, we have to begin here now. If x is greater than 6, then x squared is greater than 30. And for the next one, if a triangle is equilateral, then all of its sides are congruent. If a triangle is equilateral, then all angles in the interior of the triangle are congruent. So I have to look at this part of the sentence and start my statement. If a triangle has all sides congruent, then all interior angles are congruent. Example 3. If 0 degrees is less than measure angle A and less than 90 degrees, then A is acute. The measure of angle A is 38 degrees, so that's within 0 degrees and 90 degrees, so we can conclude, or by using the law of detachment, we can make the following statement, that angle A is an acute angle. Part B, state that the law of logic that is illustrated. If you do your homework, then you can watch TV. If you watch TV, then you can watch your favorite show. If you do your homework, then you can watch your favorite show. So this is illustrating the law of syllogism. Example 4. What conclusion can you make about the sum of an odd integer and another odd integer? The sum of two odd integers, so we could say like a 3 and a 3, gives you an even integer. So I can write the sum of two odd integers is an even number. Okay, part B. What conclusion can you make about the sum of a negative integer and itself? -1 plus -1 gives you -2. And then let's find another one. -2 plus -2 equals -4. So we could say that the sum is twice the negative integer. Example 5. Tell whether the statement is the result of inductive reasoning or deductive reasoning. The runner's average speed decreases, so the speed decreases as the time spent running increases. So we're actually looking at this based on a pattern here. So we would say inductive for this first part because it's based on pattern. And for the second one here, the runner's average speed is slower when running for 40 minutes and then when running for 10 minutes. So we're actually using values here to compare. So we would say deductive, basing it on facts. Comparing values that are given on the graph. And we will continue the lesson in class.